What's up, y'all? One Piece One Life here, and guys, well, we're back from the break. That's pretty interesting because I didn't know that there was going to be a break last week. It was one of those breaks that kind of sneak up on us where we don't really know because it's not officially said. But it doesn't even matter because we're back for this week, because there's also a break coming up. But you know what? When you're working as hard as Oda, take as many breaks as you want. I'm satisfied. And you know what? This is a solid chapter to come back from the break to. It delivers on some key things that I'm very excited to talk about and reignites one of my potential theories. So strap in, y'all, because this is about to be chapter 1148 of One Piece reviewed. Crazy that we're that close to 1150. But of course, as always, before we get into it, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more One Piece content just like this every week, and share it around with all your friends who love this series. You know what we always say here, let's get it going. Make sure you subscribe to me and my boys over at CSY. You know that we're doing our thing. We have 2 skits that are absolutely blowing up, so we need y'all to go ahead and actually follow us. Now, the title of the chapter is Rania, and interestingly enough, Rania is one of the kids that was captured by Gunko in them last chapter. So again, I gotta ask, Oda really giving these kids that much shine? But I guess we'll get there. In Yamato's cover story, it looks like we're finally moving on from the region that it seems like we've been in for months, where we have Yamato leaving with Page 1 and Oti as her official vassals. And now Tama has given Yamato an Amagasa hat to go to the Hakumai region and give to Kawamatsu. So I guess Kawamatsu is the Hakumai region daimyo. The chapter drops us right back into the action. As the kids are supposedly marching towards the docks, one of them, Rania, is actually following an arrow that is literally has her standing over a cliff. It's literally like a gangplank, which is pretty ironic that the Celestial Dragons are using pirate tactics. Yeah, I don't know how much positivity this kid has, but she is literally standing over a cliff, but telling all her friends, oh, don't worry guys, it's no big deal, this is fine, let's just see what happens, it'll all be great. No, it won't be great. As the other kids are like, Rania, come back, please, that's the realm of the dead down there. Rania's like, well, I can't control it, but it's okay. And you just have Gunko being like, Sommers, it's set. The first of the kids is ready to drop if they're not locked in. So then we cut back to Sommers, who, if you remember, he was trying to have the giants burn down the school and the library to save their kids. He's like, well, you got approximately 30 seconds, Lord Ja. Better make that decision. And the giants are actually kind of arguing about this back and forth along what to do. And I'm not gonna lie, to me, this is slightly incredulous because I understand how much their history is worth to them, but y'all, these are the lives of the children. Some of these giants are like, hold on, but you know, we've been trying to cultivate our library for a very long time. I don't give a damn. Somebody's like, don't you get it? The bigger picture is that they're trying to get Elbaf under the world government. And somebody else is just like, okay, so does that mean that in order to not do that, we let the kids die? But then that's where we cut to Robin and Chopper, who are still hiding within Saul's beard. Robin's like, Chopper, you stay here. I know that we shouldn't be fighting these guys without actually ascertaining what their abilities are, but I just can't keep my emotions in check. And then you have Nami like pointing up at Sommers and being like, you're about to kill the kids? What the hell is wrong with you? Who even thinks about doing that? Of course, makes sense for Nami's character, given that, you know, she's always had a connection to like kids and wanting to protect them and such. But Sommers is just like, well, the windings of an insect mean absolutely nothing to me. You can keep going though. And yeah, when I said that he was toxic in that one chapter review, I meant it. Then we see that Ripley's group is also taking action. So Ripley, Frankie, Dory, and Bragi, they're all on their way, splitting up to go and deal with some of the tasks. And then Sommers hits them with an even bigger bar where he's like, oh, and by the way, when you are burning the library and such, don't you dare even think about saving even a single book from those flames. And that's absolutely insane because he's referencing Ohara and he's like, listen, we saw what happened on Ohara, we are not letting that happen again. He says, yeah, we intend for 2 things to burn in particular, your culture and your history. And that's where Robin couldn't take it anymore. She emerges from Soul's beard and uses an entirely new move, Cienfleur Drumsticks. She creates a giant hand that literally face palms Sommer away. The other Straw Hats are like, oh my goodness, wait, it's Robin. Jinbei's like, be careful, we don't know what he can do yet. Robin's just like, I know. And just as Sommers is about to recognize her as Nico Robin, she uses Quattro Manos Clutch. Now, if you saw the video I just put out about the Straw Hat Devil Fruits, you'll know that when I was talking about the Hana Hana no Mi, Clutch is Robin's go-to move. And I'm not gonna lie, it really looked like Robin was going for the kill here. And you know what? if they didn't have the ultimate regen, he may just have died. But of course, he just kind of zombifies, snaps his body back into place. And I'm not going, he's not even phased. He just says, yo, anyway, so it's been 10 seconds, 20 more. But it doesn't stop there, no. Robin fully tackles him, grabs onto him, and then sends the two of them flying over the edge. And then this guy Sommers is actually unserious. He's like, wait, you're hugging me because you have a crush on me, don't you? And as he realizes that they're both falling, he's like, whoa, I'm not joining a certain type of pact. The kind of pact that I can't really say on YouTube. As they're falling, Robin's just like, I know that you're immortal and you've eaten the thorn fruit, but hopefully at least if I can take you away, your thorns, your visible thorns at least, will go away. Sommers is just like, ooh, what a shrewd lady. And then emerges spikes out of him to pierce Robin. It seems like she's been pierced like through her skull, through her body, but then Robin dissipates into flowers. When I was first reading it, I kind of called that this would happen, but Robin has used a flower clone here. And Sommers is falling. He's like, wait, how many moves does this chick think ahead? This is crazy. So, I mean, we didn't get as much of an extended version of our roses versus thorns kind of thematic battle that we have going on, but you know what? I'm satisfied. In fact, isn't that even a saying, like every rose has its thorn or something like that? So the real Robin is trying to help the rest of the Straw Hats out of the bindings or whatever, and we actually see that Brooke is fully binded up by Gunko's power. But then he's still like, yep, only 10 seconds left, and we see that this guy Sommers is literally spread-eagled in the air, holding on by a single vine that is jutting out and attaching itself to branch 8. If there's one thing about Sommers, he's dedicated to his craft. His craft is being evil and a prick, but still. And then he tells Gunko, hey yo, have the little kids speak so that they know that we're serious. And then Rania starts speaking, and y'all, why does this little girl give one of the best speeches I've heard in One Piece? She's talking about, you know, I really love school. That's where I made all my friends. And I love the library too. We learned a lot of important stuff from there. For example, some of the things that we learned from our teachers is to not cause trouble for others and to not do things that people hate. And I think that people will hate for the school and the library to go away just because of me. So I think it'd be better if I fell. Don't worry, Elder Ja. I'll be fine. And you really see this girl is actually breaking down because who wouldn't? She's a child. But even as she's breaking down and crying, she's just like, I've always been lucky. Today's my day. So don't worry about me, please. Just let me fall. Save everything else. She has more conviction than the majority of One Piece characters. I don't care. And just as Sommers counts down 3, 2, 1, that's when Elder Ja gives the order. He's crying. He's like, Anji, I don't care about anything else anymore. We need to save these kids. Please, burn it all down. Of course, you got everybody sad because they understand what this means. You see Anji, you see Saul being down, you see Robin tearing up. And then the whole time, Robin ends up getting captured by his thorns as he comes back up. And he brings up an entire thorn bat that he's about to whack her with. Everything looks dark, everything looks dreary, the situation is dire. And then the Mountain Eater arrives. In the blink of an eye, Summer's left hand is gone, cut completely off his body. And I think Oda made a mistake because he showed the left hand getting cut, but then also the right hand missing like in 2 successive panels, so mistake probably. But then Summer raises his arm to look, and he's like, wait a second. So, ow, first of all, but second of all, why isn't my hand regenerating? And then you have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Scopper Gaban, just being like, long time no see. With Sommers himself being like, whoa, Scopper Gaban is here? And in the final panel of the chapter, we see Gaban slash the hell out of this man. He slashes past him with his axe. There's blood splurting from like his torso and everything. Interestingly enough, again, y'all, there's hockey lines flashing off of it, and it shows that he is deadly serious. Now, the chapter was interesting enough on its own, but this is where the true conversations happen. And here there's 2 things in particular I want to flag. First of all, the Gaban has Conqueror's hockey train is back on. Everybody kept telling me, oh no, but you remember how Uchiha had the lines. I don't care. He's literally emanating it from his swords. You can't tell me that the way that we see Gaban posing in the background of his attack with Sommers, there's hockey flashing off there too. You can't tell me that that's armament, because that isn't making contact with him. I'm sorry, anybody who doesn't want Gaban to have Conquerors, why not, actually? Would you be able to tell me that in the comments? Because I'm curious. But then even more important than that at this stage is the fact that whatever attack Gaban did nullified the regeneration power. which means that whatever he did, we're gonna need to mass produce that ability, because we're gonna absolutely need to learn that in order to fight the Gorosei though. And again, I don't even know what it is, but yeah, Sommers can't regenerate. And honestly, it may have to do with like tapping into an even advanced level of Haki at some way. Because remember, even Luffy's advanced Conqueror's Haki wasn't touching Warcury back on Egghead Island. And we know from Kaido and Shanks that we haven't explored everything that Haki has to offer, so listen, another training arc? Now in terms of this fight of Gaban versus Sommers, I think that it's gonna be really demonstrative of Gaban's current abilities. Though ultimately, I do think that Luffy, Loki, Zoro, and Sanji coming up from the underworld altogether, that's what's gonna be like the major change in Elbaf's story. So maybe because he's past his prime, Gaban is putting in work, but you know, he's ending up getting captured, some other stuff. I can see Sommers, Drampa, and Gunko all coming together to present a united front. And just as everything seems dire and the end of the world, that's when Loki and the monster trio arrive back from the underworld to save everybody. In so doing, we probably get how Loki actually can demonstrate to be a good guy to all the other giants. But yeah, really solid chapter in my opinion. I would give this a cool 7. What did you guys think of the chapter? Did you enjoy it? Do you have any insights as to why Gaban is able to nullify the regeneration power? Does he have Conqueror's Haki? Let me know what you think and more in the comments below. Now that is the end of the video, y'all, but before we go, like it, subscribe, and share it around with all your friends who love the series, or anime and manga in general. Remember, I'm trying to build a community, but I need your help to do it. That's gonna be all for me. I'll catch you on the next one, and always remember, one piece, one life. So it seems like I've broken my ring light because it's only giving me this setting, and it's not the light setting that I like, so I think I will be buying another one.